welcome to YouQube. Welcome back, everyone. Today is the two-part series premiere of YouQube. Today is Wednesday, is January 21st. So two-part episode today. This is part one. Super excited. One of the big campus events coming up is the KINSEY SICKS. It is January 28th, 2015, and it's a week from today, and it's in the Great Hall of the MSC. Buy your tickets, buy them, and make sure to go, and that's super awesome. I'm super excited to see the KINSEY SICKS. They're a drag a cappella group. They're hilarious. They have a movie, all this great stuff. They were on America's Got Talent. So make sure to get those tickets, and because of that awesome event, our two-part series premiere today is going to be talking about drag. We're going to be talking about different types of drag in this first part, and then in the second part we're going to be talking about debunking some drag myths. And so for the episodes today we have special guests, student drag queen Sweetie Edgewater, and then Isabella LaTwa-Collins, who is also currently our first alternate for Miss Gay Chippewa Valley. And that's awesome, and I'm super excited to see how y'all like these queens. They're awesome. And without further ado, I'm going to let you learn from the queens themselves. And we're back with Isabella LaTwa-Collins, our special guest for today. Isabella is first alternate for Miss Gay Chippewa Valley. So Isabella, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, hello. I'm Isabella, and I am, like Sweetie said, your first alternate for Miss Gay Chippewa Valley. And I have been doing drag for almost 2 years now, and it's been a blast. I'm also, in my dayfish executive realness, I am one of the events coordinators at the Cube.
So, alright, so then to start off, we're going to have Isabella talking about what, on a basic level, drag queens are. For this episode, we're going to talk mostly about drag queens. And then I'm super excited to talk about drag kings in a future episode. Drag is something so big and so important to our culture that I wanted to dedicate it to 2 episodes. So today we're going to be talking about drag queens mostly. So stay tuned when you want to talk about drag kings. So start it off, Isabella. So tell us about drag queens.
Alright, so drag queens, or the art of drag, is when you are creating an illusion of a new individual. When we're talking about drag queens, it's considered an art of presenting like a feminine illusion, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. It's what I do on the daily. Just
flawless.
Serving it.
Yep. And the favorite activity of a drag queen?
Oh.
Sweetie Edgewater, Isabella LaTwa-Collins. The time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Good luck, and don't give up.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to try.
Lip sync.
Lip sync! Oh, I thought you were going to say tucking.
Oh, technical difficulties. We'll be right back. And so testicular difficulties. Oh god, drag queen life right there. And so now we're just gonna talk about the different types of drag. We have about 9. The big thing about drag, though, is it's just like even sexuality or gender, it's fluid. You can be anywhere in the middle. You could be completely not any of these things. It's really up to you. Your drag is your drag. You identify it as how you identify it, and work it. So the first one is fish. That is one that you'll hear a lot. So explain to us, Isabella, the world of fish.
Alright, so being a fishy queen is when you're presenting like a hyper feminine illusion, and you're super beautiful and you're just killing it like Gia Gunn and Courtney Act. So like an example is like you're walking down Broadway here in Menominee, or you're walking down the street on Rodeo Drive or something like that.
Walking to class.
You're walking to class, and honey, you are just feeling it, and can't nobody clock you. And by clock, that means if I was to walk down the street, no one would know that I personally identify as a male.
Or even that this hoe is in 40 pounds of makeup and a wig. They just be like, oh, that girl hot. Okay.
Yes.
Fish. Not really fish. Well, I think I'm fish. This one doesn't think I'm fish.
I didn't say you're not fish.
I'm the clown, and we'll talk about that next. So basically, it's taking in clown-like features, and it's exaggerating what a feminine face looks like. It's being very exaggerated, very satirical, and campy and clown drags usually are also funny. A lot of them are insult comics, regular comics, do stand-up, do theater, all these funny things. Bianca Del Rio comes to mind. Obviously, that girl will read you to pieces. And yeah, so that's clown. Clown realness. You can tell which one of us is the fishy clown, or the fishy queen, and the clowny queen.
Hashtag. Hashtag clown realness.
Clown realness. And then the next one I'm going to go into right away as well is androgyny and also tranimal a little bit. Androgyny is basically taking in both masculine and feminine features and muddling it all together and being really ambiguous, but still maintaining that beauty and that fierce look of drag. A queen that comes to mind that a lot of people know is Nina Flowers. Nina Flowers is really good with androgyny work.
Slay.
Yeah. And then Tranimal is similar. It works in a lot of those blending the genders a lot, but even more. It's basically, they're called drag terrorists, and it's basically attacking the whole idea of drag being looking exactly like a woman. And it's basically saying, hey, drag is what I want it to be, and drag maybe is blending all the genders together, or no gender at all, or whatever you want it to be. So, yeah. And next is pageant with Isabella again.
Yay! So, I will say
Pageant
that
queen.
I started off not wanting to go into the whole pageant realm, but it happened, and I'm really glad that I did it because I learned a lot. But basically, pageant drag is when you go and compete at a regional or state level, and there's even a national level, and it's pretty much like Miss America except drag queens. And or there's also there's trans individuals that will go and compete as well, or folk queens that also have preliminaries that they can go and compete in as well to compete at the national level. And yeah, it's pretty fun. There's evening gown, talent, interview, and then usually a creative presentation. It's very glamorous and just serving it. And yeah.
Yep. And then Club Kid, too, which is almost the opposite of pageant.
Yeah, Club Kid is, there's two different kinds of extravagant. There's, like, the glamour, like, really big hair and really awesome jewelry and stuff like that. And then there's Club Kid, which is usually, like, it's more out of the New York City area, and they have a huge amount of, like, extravagant costumes that are, like, really out of this world, and it's just really a whole different type of ball game, which I think is really, really cool. So, yeah.
Working it. Serving some out-of-this-world realness.
It's...
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't even come up with anything for
basically. And then the next one is Goth Queen. Everyone thinks of a specific queen when it comes to this. I'm sure you know who it is.
Sharon Needles.
Sharon Needles, season 4 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Goth is exactly what it sounds like. It's just taking that goth, dark aesthetic, taking in these dark color schemes, almost vintage and extreme outfits and all of these things, and basically turning it out as a queen of darkness. It's basically what it is. And then Isabella is going to talk to us about faux queen and trans drag.
Yay! Okay, so faux queens are kind of some of my closest people. My sister is actually a faux queen, or a femme queen is the other term for that. And that is when a biological female goes and performs in the drag scene. So they go through the same amount of work as we do in regards to the makeup and everything like that, and they still lip sync the house down and kill it. Look her up. Her name is KINSEY Lexington LaTwa. Check her out. She is great. And then the other type of drag that I'll be talking about is trans drag. And trans drag is basically when an individual who identifies as trans is also an entertainer in the drag scene as well. And it's something that's very common, especially in Minnesota, which I think is very, very awesome. Mm-hmm. And I love it. So, yeah.
And so the big difference between drag and trans, just because I know that's something that a lot of people are confused about.
Yes. Take note.
Write it.
Drag is what they do. Trans is who they are.
And who's that lovely quote from?
That is a quote from Season 5 contestant Monica Beverly Hills.
Season 5, RuPaul's Drag Race, represent. And then the last one is Activessel. Basically, these queens take drag and bring it to a cause. Basically, they use their art and they use their entertainment to bring attention to certain issues, certain causes, and use their art for good. The big thing that comes to mind is the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are big Activessel representatives. I guess representatives would be a word. Yes. Represent. But yeah, so those are 9 basic types of drag. Alright, so that was part 1 of our 2-part series premiere, talking about drag with Sweetie Edgewater and Isabella LaTwa-Collins in time for the KINSEY SICKS next week. But like I said, make sure to buy your tickets and also make sure to watch part 2 of this series premiere. It's going to be fantastic and we're going to debunk some drag myths. So don't forget to subscribe.